I'm a professional race car driver. When I first got into racing, I drove for Joe Gibbs Racing. Now I drive for Richard Petty Motors. In 2018, I finished second in the Daytona 500. You can see me on the racetrack driving number 43 Chevy Camaro. I am Bubba Wallace.
I'm the anchor of ABC's morning show, Good Morning America. Before that, I was a sportscaster on ESPN, where I worked for 15 years. I attended Southeastern Louisiana University, where I played basketball, and I graduated as the school's third all-time leading scorer and rebounder. I am Robin Roberts.
I worked 8 years as a stand-up comedian. In 1989, after having appeared in a number of TV shows and movies, I became a disc jockey. In 1996, I moved to Washington, D.C. and continued my disc jockey career with the Russ Parr Morning Show. I also write, direct, and practice movies. I am Russ Parr.
I'm described by many as the godmother of the women's movement because of my work for gender equality. For 40 years, I led the National Council of Negro Women. I was also instrumental in the 1963 March on Washington, in which Dr. King gave his historic I Have a Dream speech. I also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994. I am Dorothy Height.
I'm currently the ESPN Senior Vice President for digital media, as well as editor-in-chief of ESPN.com. Before joining ESPN in 2004, I worked for various newspaper organizations, including the Philadelphia Inquirer and the Louisville Inquirer-Journal. I'm Rob King.
I was 6 years old when I integrated into an all-white elementary school in the South. I was the first African American to do this. Every day for that school year, I was escorted to school by my mother and 4 federal marshals. I ate lunch alone and sometimes played with the teacher during recess, but I never missed a day of school. I am Ruby Bridges.
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, the grandson of a slave. After graduating from Howard University Law School, I worked as chief counsel for the NAACP. One of my highest profile cases was Brown versus Board of Education in Topeka, Kansas. The victory led to the desegregation of public schools. In 1976, I was appointed to the Supreme Court, the first African American to hold this distinction. I'm Thurgood Marshall.
I am a screenwriter and television producer. I started as a writer first on the show South Central and the Jamie Foxx Show. I created the television shows Girlfriends, The Game, Being Mary Jane, and Black Lightning. I am Mara Brock.
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I began building puppets when I was 10 years old. In 1979, as a 19-year-old, I was a puppeteer for the kids program Captain Kangaroo. This opened up doors for me in other puppeteer jobs, including Sesame Street. In 1984, while working in Sesame Street, I decided to create the character of Elmo. I have also won 7 Daytime Emmy Awards for my work on Sesame Street. I am Kevin Clash.
I was the first African American to complete a residency in ophthalmology in 1973. I co-founded the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in 1976. In 1986, I invented the laser phaco probe, which improved treatment for cataract patients. This made me the first African American female doctor to receive a patent. I am Dr. Patricia Bath.
I'm a NASA engineer and inventor. I created the Super Soaker water gun. It is the #1 selling toy of all time with sales nearing 1 billion. I currently hold over 100 patents. I am Lonnie Johnson.
I'm a ballerina. I'm the first African American performer appointed as principal dancer for the American Ballet Theater. I've also authored 2 books. I am Misty Cope.
I am a businessman from Baltimore, Maryland. I was the first African American to build a billion-dollar company, Beatrice Foods. As a philanthropist, I also funded grants that donated millions to nonprofits, including Howard University and Harvard Law School. Probably my greatest philanthropic donation was a $5 million donation for a museum dedicated to African American culture in Maryland. The project will become the Reginald F. Lewis Museum of Maryland, African American History and Culture, located in Baltimore, Maryland. I am Reginald F.
I'm an actress, dancer, choreographer, director, and producer. In addition to acting in the shows Fame, In the House, and Grey's Anatomy, I directed A Different World. In 2001, I opened the Debbie Allen Dance Academy in Los Angeles. I'm Debbie Allen.
I escaped and became a prominent author, activist, and public speaker. If there is a struggle, there is no progress. I am Frederick Joseph.
I am a television executive and producer. I'm the former president of ABC Entertainment Group, the first African American head of a major television network. Currently, I am the vice president of original content for Netflix. I am Channing Gundy.
I was the first African men's basketball coach to win the NCAA basketball championship after guiding the Georgetown Hoyas to the 1984 national championship. Born and raised in Washington, D.C., I coached the Hoyas for 29 years, developing NBA Hall of Famers. Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, and Allen Iverson. I am John Thompson.
I attended DeMatha High School and graduated from Harvard University. Currently, I am the NFL Today host on CBS. I am also a special correspondent for CBS News. I got my start in broadcasting back in 1984 by broadcasting the Washington Bullets games on television. I currently live in Bethesda, Maryland. I am James Brown.
I was a slave, escaped, and then helped other slaves to freedom. My work in helping slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad earned me the nickname Moses of her people. During the Civil War, I served as a spy for the Union Army. I am regarded as the first African American woman to serve in the military. I was born in Armenta Ross in Dorchester County, Maryland. I changed my name once I got married. I am Harriet Tubman.
I am an American historian, author, journalist, and founder of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. In February 1926, I launched the celebration of Negro History Week. By 1970, this would become Black History Month. I am Carter G.
I am an agricultural scientist and inventor. I develop many products from the peanut, including milk, oils, and cosmetics. My working in soil chemistry showed that growing cotton depleted nutrients in soil. Growing nitrogen-fixing plants like peanuts and sweet potatoes helped to restore soil. This concept became known as a crop rotation. I am George Washington Carter.
I am the founder and chairperson of Radio 1 Incorporated. Since launching in 1979, Radio 1 has become the largest broadcast network in the United States with 69 stations in 22 cities. Locally, these stations include 92.3, 93.9, and 102.3. In 2004, I launched TV One. I am Kathy Heath.